this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here back again with my collage masterboards. We made these collage masterboards using the map book pages from my recent kind of vintage haul, and I wanted to come back and obviously make some pretty journal cards and things like that from the 12 by 12 masterboard that we have done here. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to just use these as, journal cards, because they've got, I did them all on the back of, what was pretty neutral coloured pieces. So, they're going to be really easy to actually use as journaling cards because, they don't need backing or anything like that. But before I do that, what I want to do is just kind of see if I'm going to do this in half, how it's going to look, because obviously being a 12 by 12 sheet, it would be quite easy to get my three, journaling cards top and bottom. But I just want to make sure that I'm going to be doing it in the right way. So, for instance, would I be better off doing kind of long, landscape or portrait for my journal cards, if you see what I mean? So like this one here, as you can probably see, actually seems to be lending itself better to having kind of landscape ones, which, to be honest, I never ever would have thought to do that, had I not had landscape pieces on here, if you see what I mean, because I just automatically would have cut it probably this way round. But actually, yeah, putting this piece of paper down, it's lending itself far better to going this way down. Now, obviously, I don't measure, so I'm going to just wing and a prayer stuff here, cut this what I gauge to be roughly the middle. So I'm just going to take it down like this. Now I'm not going to stress, if I cut this and it's not the middle, if I cut it and it's not straight, it doesn't matter. We can just, alter it and kind of come back in later. But this is just my initial cut. Okay. So, as you can probably see, it does need some tidying up, but it's fine. It's all going to be fine. So what I want to do now is make my three journal cards from each piece. Now I'm thinking, now this is kind of a technique that I have been using lately. Let me just move this off so it's a bit easier to see, where I kind of cover it up with a sheet of white or something white, because that just is quite helpful to then gauge what we're going to be left with when we've cut it down, if you see what I mean. So that one there, for instance, that looks really good, doesn't it? But if I put it here, does that look so good? As it happens, it does. But yeah, you just want to kind of do those little checks, don't you? Now, I could maybe even get 4, but I think that would be pushing it a bit. Yeah, I mean, they're going to be then, ridiculous and skinny, aren't they? So yeah, I'm going to not be greedy and I'm going to just stick with the 3. So let's just take this one and I'm going to just cut it there, across there. Okay, and then my next one, I'm going to just go in and cut around. Ooh, which side do I want to go? Going to do it this side of the stitching, like that, with a view to then, cutting this one down across the top. So I'm just going to cut it down across here. I know I'm kind of losing quite a bit, but that's going to then tidy it up and just make it look a bit better. So yeah, I really, really like that. I mean, that's just a lovely, lovely journaling card, isn't it? So I'm just going to kind of cut it here, not because it needed cutting for any particular reason, but just in case I had any kind of jaggedy edges or anything from when I was gluing on the pieces. And like I always kind of try and say is, if you've glued these bits on, the chances are you haven't gone right to the edge with your glue. So by just cutting over by 1 millimetre or so, you're going to get probably closer to the glue edge, if you see what I mean. So then I've got this one. Now I just need to do a bit of tidying up because I, have not cut this very straight. I mean, not that I expected to have done. So cut that there. I'm going to just have to trim it down here now, because that's not great either. Okay, Let's just go down here. I mean, this was the original straight, you know, the original outside edge of the scrapbooking paper. So you'd kind of hope that that was a bit straighter, but, you know, I've stuck pieces over it, so it might have now lost its straightness. So, I mean, that one, as you can see, it's a bit wider, you know, a bit kind of, yeah, deeper like that. I don't mind that. That's, you know, that's fine. I think that looks, you know, really nice. Okay, so this one, final one, I'm going to just bring it in here because it's looking quite long and thin at the moment. And then I could probably bring it in here as well on this edge. Okay. Yeah. Okie dokie. Just might have to go in here just fractionally. Just because I thought that top edge was not looking very straight. Okay. So yeah, that one looks really nice now, to be honest. Right, just got to go in with this postage stamp. I hate it when you get just the odd bit that's, you know, the glue's not kind of gone down properly. Or, you know, stuck it down properly, perhaps I should say. Oh, is my glue now not playing? Oh, come on, glue. Come on, glue. Okay. Dab of glue there. Okay, press that down. Okay, yeah. So they look really nice, don't they? Let's bring in the other three and see how they look. And then we'll see whether we want to add any, you know, what do you call them? You know, tabs and things like that. Couldn't think of the word there for a minute. So again, that would be, you know, our top one. So if I just put that there and then we'll just kind of gauge it, see if that was our middle one. So, and then I'll just check there. So again, what I'm going to probably do, I think, is, yeah, start by cutting here along the top of that stitching row. Or do I want to go underneath the stitching row? Might go underneath it, actually. So like here. I mean, again, I'm not expecting this to be straight. I'm going to go in and tidy it up afterwards. So then we're going to go along here. Like that. Okay. Right. I mean, actually, these look pretty good already, to be honest. So just going to go in here on this side a little bit. Maybe this side as well. Again, just because it was looking quite, you know, quite long really for a journal card. So yeah, I think it just kind of benefits from being shrunk down slightly. Just going to go across the top. Like that. Okay, right, let's have a look at this one. So again, just come in here on this edge slightly. And then here. You know, you're just trying to get them to a sort of shape and size that you find nice. And, you know, there's no rules. There's nothing to say you can't have, you know, a slightly longer, narrower journal card or a slightly fatter, wider one. You know, just play around and kind of get it, you know, to where you're happy, basically. So, oops, I have really mucked that one up. So, yeah, not straight at all there. I'm not quite sure what happened. But my goodness, not a good bit of cutting going on. Still not good there, but never mind. Oh dear. Oh dear. Don't know what is going on with my cutting, but it's quite disconcerting when you're cutting along kind of patterned paper sometimes. I think it's quite hard to actually cut straight lines, to be honest. Right, let's bring these in. Okay, I mean, how nice do they look? I just absolutely love how they look, you know, straight away. I don't even feel like they need anything else, to be honest. They look so good. But let's go in and just do a few kind of finishing touches. So this one here, I think I'll round the edges. Now, again, you know, you don't necessarily want to have them all looking the same. But this one, I think, you know, just fancied having the rounded edges. Now, do we think this might look quite cute with a wax seal on? just because I've got my wax seals here to the side, and I just thought, actually, kind of feeling like this might look quite nice with a wax seal. Got these yellowy colour ones. Could mix them maybe with a couple of goldy colours, or maybe have predominantly yellowy colour. Mix it with the brown. Might be quite nice. Yeah, I think sort of something there. Now, obviously, this has not got any lace or anything like that on. I think on this whole masterboard, I just put some ribbon on, and that was kind of it. So we could always add some lace strips and things like that. So let's have a look and see. Oh, not that one. Definitely not that. What else have I got? I've got some fabric. Oh, that's not the right colour, is it? I mean, to be honest, you know, it might be that actually this doesn't need anything in the way of fabric or lace. I know. I mean, that would be unusual, wouldn't it, for me to come to that conclusion? But let's just cut this off. This is just a titchy sort of offcut. But I'm just wondering, you know, I'm actually just wondering whether we could do like a wax seal over the top of the lace. That might be quite nice, mightn't it? Right, let's just bring my wax down, or, you know, my candle. Okay. So I think what I'll do, I'm going to just glue that lace down here. Oops. Okie dokie, like that. And then, yeah, I think the, you know, wax seal just over the top of that lace would look quite nice, wouldn't it? Okay. Right. Yeah, I kind of thought that I might like to do this, so I have bought my little waxing kit along. Right, okay. Could do with actually cleaning that spoon out a little bit. So I think what I'll do, I'll just leave it to melt what's in there, because it's got some blue and some gold, and I don't really want to have blue and gold on here if I can help it. Okay, just wait for that to melt for a moment. Let's move this to one side. Okay. So I'm thinking a couple of these might like to have, you know, some paper tabs. So let's just go in and clean that spoon out. Yeah, otherwise I could see I was going to end up with like blue and gold on the journal card, and I just didn't want to have blue and gold. Okay. So I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope you're all doing some crafting, having a nice time. Every day is better with crafting, isn't it? So yeah, always better with crafting. Right, having a look to see if I've got anything that I could make tabs with, you know, that's just floating around on the desk. I mean, this isn't too bad. It's not great on this side, but yeah, we could use it this side, couldn't we? Let me just fold this down. So this was just an offcut from a recent mass make that we did, but it's great if you can just use what you've got sat there, isn't it? So let's just take that down a bit. Okay. Now, where would we have this? I'm kind of thinking on the end, or maybe on this end, actually. Just have a look. Oh, maybe even in the centre. I very rarely do tabs in the centre, but for some reason this one feels like it just could be a centre tab type piece. Okay. And then I'm just going to take my oval punch. Oops. Just do my little corners. Okay. Right, let's do that wax seal quickly now. So again, I'm just going to give that a stir, because I want to have that bronzy colour kind of, yeah, mixed in a bit with the yellow. pull that out here. Okay, right, we'll leave that on there for a moment. So this one, now, do we want to have this here? The centre, the bottom? Ooh, actually, I quite like it at the top now. It's funny, isn't it, how you can sort of change your mind, you know, as you kind of move it round and then think, oh, actually, it's better there. So I'm just going to grab my blendy tool and ink up around the edge of here. Again, don't necessarily want to ink up the edge of everyone, but yeah, this one I think would look good because we're putting that tab on. So I'm going to ink up the tab as well. And then it's going to just have that kind of, you know, matching thing going on between the tab and the journal card. And actually, I should really turn it over and do the back because otherwise the back's not going to be inked. So, yep. Okay. Okay, right, let's move this. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Yeah, really like how that looks. And actually, I'm just wondering whether I could even wipe some, you know, some gold or something around that. I'm not sure. Not sure, but now I'm thinking I need to ink the edge of this as well. So, yeah, let's just ink the edge there. Okay. And again, just turn it over. Oops, I should really get rid of that because it's now... Just get rid of the little bit of excess wax that's in the spoon. Otherwise we will have a yellow and gold thing going on next time, like we almost had the blue and gold thing going on. Okay, right. Okay. And I'm just going to cut this little edge piece off because, yeah, I didn't really want it dangling as much as that. There we go. That looks really nice, doesn't it? So I'm just going to put that to one side. Right, so we have this one. Let's just do our tab here on the front. And again, I'm just going to use my hot glue because it's very nice and quick. I don't then have to worry that it's not finished or, you know, that it's not glued. So there we go. Yay. Okay, that looks really nice, doesn't it? Yeah, really, really love that. Now, do we need anything else in there? I mean, I'm not sure that it does. Kind of looks pretty good already, I think. I did notice I had a little frame here. I'm not sure. I mean, the thing is, when you do these cluttered masterboards, to be honest, they don't have that much room left to put anything else. You know, which actually is the beauty of it, because you haven't then got to do anything else. You know, it looks pretty good already. Actually, I'm going to just put this this frame down here because I think that looks really nice. But yeah, you know, that's the beauty of it. They have come together kind of on their own. They don't really need any other kind of things on there. They all just are completely finished already. You know, with a very quick kind of tweak, you can just get yourself a bunch of journal cards or pockets or, you know, however you're going to use them with like no effort whatsoever. So yeah, liking that. Now I just wondered whether I might want to have a word or something in there. So here we go. We've got beautiful. Let's just take that. Okay. Oh, that's really nice, isn't it? Yeah. Just finishes that off just perfectly, really, doesn't it? So again, just going to ink around the word. You know, not saying that's necessary, but yeah, let's just do that. And then I'm just going to be super quick by just gluing that down there. Okay. Looking good. Right. Yep. Oh, I love that one. Okay, right, let's have a look at the next one. So this one here. Again, I mean, we could have just a word on here. So let's just take the word incredible. Just again, just ink that up. Oops. Yeah, I mean, that's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah, I quite like that. So I'm just going to add that one on there. Like that. Now, do we want anything else on here? Do we want to round the corners, maybe? Oops. Like that. Yeah, okay, like that. Now, I've got some buttons here. The buttons that we kind of patinaed recently in a recent video. So they just happen to be kind of beside me. So I'm just wondering whether we could incorporate a button or something. Now, the only thing is with buttons, you see, they're sometimes a bit lumpy. So when you put them on, you just have to be a bit aware that, you know, if you're going to be putting this into, say, a pocket, you know, you might end up with something that then is a bit thick for your pocket. So, yeah, it's kind of worth bearing that in mind a bit. Right, let's just pick that bit of glue off of my fabric here. I don't know whether this fabric's going to be quite right anyway, to be honest. But oh, it's quite nice, actually. Yeah, I quite like that, I think. So, again, I'm just going to ink around here. Okay. Ink around the back. Okie doke. Right, and then I'm going to just take my fabric. I wish I didn't have glue stuck on it. Oh, that's very annoying. Right, just going to glue this down on the front. There. And glue it down on the back. Okay. You know when you've got glue or something, you know, and it's going to bug you, isn't it? That's a little bit how I feel. Right. So, wondering if we could have that button there. Could have this one, but I think this one's, you know, just jutting out a little bit too far. Or, actually, I've got those brads that we also patinaed on that same video. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? Do you know, I think I'm going to do that instead. So I'm just going to go through here with my pokey tool. Okay, straight through. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh gosh, I might have to put my glasses on because I can't see now where this is. Oh dear. Oh, come on, glasses, help. I still can't see, would you believe? Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, I'm beginning to wonder whether this has actually got two separate bits or whether this is broken and it's only got one. Because oh, there we go. Right, for a minute I thought, I don't believe this. What's the odds? The one that I've picked up has only got the one prong. There we go. Right, there we go. How cute does that look? Love how that looks. That's just so gorgeous, isn't it? And then do you know what? I'm going to put that button there as well because how nice does that look? Really cute. Really, really nice. So we'll just glue the button down there. Yay. I love how that looks. That's so gorgeous. Yeah, love that. Right, so that's that one. Okay, next one. So I need to obviously be aware, you know, I can't really use my corner punch on the, you know, the ribboned corner. So I could always cut it, you know, at a rounded corner. Yeah, that looks okay, doesn't it? So yeah, let's just do the rounding corners. I mean, you know, it's not essential to do rounded corners, obviously. Right. Okay. Oh, love how that looks. Now, I am just wondering whether I could actually have like a faux envelope flap coming over this one. I don't know why, but this, yeah, just kind of feels like it's a faux envelope. So let's just go there. Oops, like that. And then let's just cut this down here. Oh dear, not made a very good job of that again. Oh my goodness, my cutting skills today. What is going on? Maybe not just today. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm thinking kind of like faux envelope there is quite cute, isn't it? And we could even have a little kind of, you know, what do you call it? You know, those doobies. You know, the ones, the, what am I trying to say? You know, the policy closures. So I'm just making my little piece here much smaller. Like that. Okay, let's glue this one down here at the back. Okay, and just squish that one down. Like that. Okay, right. Let's just press it down at the front as well. And then I'm just going to ink around. Did I ink around there? Yeah, I've done the journal card already. So I'm just going to ink around the flap. Again, probably should have thought and done this first, but never mind. Better late than never. Like that. And then what I'm thinking is we could have... I think I've got one of these that I've already put a brad through, which I'm wondering... Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? I knew there would eventually be a use for this. So, yeah, we've got the two circles. So, right, we can put that on there. And then I might be able to put on that flap, just see if I've got any kind of matching-ish label. Actually, just before I go for that. No, yeah. Oh, that's a shame because I've torn through that one, which actually I think would have been better. So let's just go around this. Okay. Okie dokie. And to be honest, you know, the little faux envelope flap, I mean, it's, you know, I'm not saying it's serving any purpose particularly, but, you know, I guess it gives you a little kind of secret journaling spot underneath that flap, which is, you know, kind of cute, isn't it? And as well, it's, you know, just makes it a bit more of an interactive piece, which, you know, that's no bad thing, is it? I always like something that's a bit interactive, I think. So, right, let me just see whether I've got some nice baker's twine. Sorry, I've just dropped my hot glue gun on the floor. Knocked it off my desk. Let's just see. Okay. Yeah. Oh, what colour? Some dark brown here, which I just think is slightly more fitting with this than black. So Could have used black, but yeah, I feel like the black would be quite overpowering. So just going to ink this up so that it's not, you know, not white. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just literally glue this here. So just looking roughly in the middle. Oops, just glued my hair onto that. Sorry about this, guys. Oh gosh. Okay. Right, and then I'm just going to glue this label down over the top of that. Again, just using my hot glue for speed. It's just, you know, nice and quick and easy, like that. And then here, I'm going to just glue my, you know, the piece that the string's going to wrap around, basically. And this was just one that, you know, I happened to have done a few weeks back in something else and then didn't use. So then you can just obviously wrap that around there. How cute is that? Oh, I love how that looks. That's just so cute, isn't it? It's really, really scrumptious. Yeah, really, really love that. Okay, so, and I mean, how simple was that? It was just nothing, wasn't it? So, you know, no effort whatsoever to, you know, just quickly do this. Just gorgeous. Right, let's just ink up the back of that journaling card because I hadn't. Okay. Oh, I love it. That is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And to be honest, what we could do is I could even finish the back with, you know, a postage stamp. So let me just put in a postage stamp, which would be a good sort of fit for this. So maybe that one. And then, yep, let's just glue that on here. Oops. So, I mean, I'm not directly, you know, putting loads of stuff on the back. We're keeping it still plain predominantly for journaling. We've not kind of detracted from that or taken anything up on the back. But we can now just kind of stamp it with that postmark stamp. Let's get my stays on. And where is my postmark stamp? Yep, here it is. I always keep it here in my drawer, so, you know, I would have been surprised if it had gone missing. Surprised, but not, you know, not beyond the realms of possibility, obviously. There we go. And that's our little postcard piece at the back. I mean, if you wanted, you could obviously put like an address here or something. But of course, then you've lost your journaling space. So I think it's quite nice kind of leaving it just like that. But yeah, you know, kind of either way it would work. Could even put like a label or something on the back of that, to be honest. You know, like a journaling label. So let's just have a look. I mean, to be honest, you could put obviously like a journaling label on any of them, not just this one. They would all have worked with a journaling spot on the back. It's just that this one we've actually stuck the stamp down, so it just feels like it's properly a postcard or properly an envelope. So just cut around there. Oops. Okay. Like that. So, I mean, we could have that there in the middle. And again, that doesn't detract from your journaling space because you can journal all around it. And then, you know, you could put a title or a date or something in the middle bit or put it down to the side. I actually quite like it in the middle. So, yeah, let's just do that. Love, love, love how that looks. That's just, I mean, that just works so well, doesn't it? Really, really, really love it. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So press that down. Yep, really, really loving that. Absolutely love it. Okay, so that's that one. So then we've got two more left to do from this particular board, and then we've obviously got the other board still to do. So what should we do on here? I mean, obviously I'm just trying to think up some different things so they don't all look the same. You know, so that, yeah, we've got some unique things going on them. I'm just wondering, we could just again have this, you know, we could just do this like a postcard, I guess. Oh, I don't know now with this one. I wonder whether we could add something like a flower. I don't know how the flower would look here. I don't feel like it's a flowery type of piece, but stranger things have happened. What do you think? You know, like, just some pieces don't feel floral, do they? That's a bit how I'm feeling with this. It's not feeling like it should be a florally piece. But having said that, that actually doesn't look as bad as I thought. I mean, I'm not sure that's quite the, you know, quite the statement, is it? Oh, it doesn't look as bad as I thought. I mean, that doesn't really kind of necessarily say it looks good, does it? But it just doesn't look as bad as I thought it might. So, yeah, it's probably not kind of the piece, is it? If it's just... That's all I can say about it, is it doesn't look as bad as I thought it might. I mean, again, I'm just grabbing things that are laying about on the desk, really. You know, seeing if any of this stuff will work. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Let's just have a look. Have a look with a word. I mean, again, we could have a wax seal on here, really. I just, you know, I just suddenly thought, well, all, you know, I've got my wax seals right here on the desk, haven't I, still? So, yeah, we could always just have a wax seal again. Yeah, I mean, that might just be one too many labels, I'm thinking. So if we had the wax seal, I wonder if we could incorporate some ribbon. You know, like we like to do the thingamajigglies with the wax seals. That's my favourite way, I think, to do the wax seals, is to have the, you know, the ribbon underneath them. I feel like they almost look a bit naked without now. Let's try this. Nope, 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 nope. Again, I'm just literally looking at what have I got here on the desk, you know, just being like really lazy, because I mean, obviously I could reach behind me and actually get some other ribbon. But yeah, I'm just thinking, oh, well, I might have something actually just here that, you know, that would be really handy, because it would be one less thing on my desk. I mean, not that that's going to make a blind bit of difference, obviously. My desk's still going to be a tip. It's not going to be transformed by a little tiny thing going. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I've gone into kind of like silly mode now, where yeah, I just can't now think really of what I want to do and how to make this really different. I have got here, this is one of those like wooden frames. So I'm just now wondering whether I could, let's just try inking this up. I can't remember what I was doing with this, but for some reason I've done some texture paste on this. So obviously I was, you know, using this for something. I don't know whether it was on video or off video, but this was just kind of laying in my thing over there. So I'm just wondering whether I could incorporate this somewhere. Just see. Well, that's quite nice actually, like that. Yeah, I quite like that. Now, wondering, let's just go round the edge, making the edge much darker. And actually thinking I could even maybe go around the edge with some patina or something like that to make it sort of, you know, a bit metallic. Yeah, that's quite nice, isn't it? Okay, right. Let's just ink the, you know, around the edges of the journal card itself. Like that. And I mean, don't forget, if ever you've done a journal card, you know, and it's a little bit too bulky, for instance, if we had this frame and then it bulks it out and it's then, you know, become a little bit too bulky, then you can always just use them just paper clipped onto a page or something. You know, you don't have to kind of try and tuck them into a pocket. You know, if they're not really going to lend themselves to being tucked in. you know, you could always just use them in a different way, i.e., you know, paper clip them on or something. Now I've got these paint sticks here. Just going to see if this kind of is going to do anything on the sides. So yeah, thinking kind of, can I metallic up the sides of this? Well, or the whole thing, as I appear to be now doing. Okay, well, it's not really covering brilliantly. Oh. She says, as she then tries to smother the whole thing. Oh dear, it's not drying on here very well. It's kind of smearing off. Oh. Oh dear, yeah, not good. I mean, obviously it possibly just needs to dry, but might be that it's not going to dry on here. Because, you know, sometimes you get those surfaces that things are not going to really kind of dry on, don't you? Although, I mean, this is just wood, and it's, I think I probably used just gesso on here and then some texture paste, or maybe some of that thick gesso. I can't honestly remember. Like I say, I don't remember what I was doing with this. I mean, I can vaguely remember, you know, I couldn't use it, but yeah, I can't remember whether I used it on camera or made it on camera, or where, you know, where I did it. It's, yeah, completely kind of escaped my memory. Right. I mean, I quite like that, to be honest, with that frame. Now, I just need to decide, do I prefer the frame up this way, which obviously chops up or chops off quite a bit of the butterfly, or should we have it on this way? Probably that way, because I just get in, you know, more of the butterfly, to be honest. So, yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's put those paints away. Obviously, that's not dried, but just going to, you know, go on the basis that it's, you know, it is drying. So, yeah, let's hope that paint doesn't let me down, and, you know, it's not going to be a case of it's not going to dry. Okay. Oh, look at what I've done now. Well, hey, let's just dab around everywhere now. Have it more of a distressed frame. Okay. I can always go over with some extra. I don't mind it being a bit like that, to be honest. Okay, so that's that one. Right, last one. Now, I have to say, this one's probably my favourite. I really love how this one looks. And so I'm not sure I want to really do too much to this, because I actually just really like it, you know, in its simplicity as it is. So, yeah, from that point of view, I kind of don't want to spoil it. Just going to try and inking up this lace, only because this lace was floating around on my desk. So it would be really cool if I could use this. Cool, but possibly just not doable. Okay, let's just round those corners. Okay. Oh, come on. Right. Let's just pop these bits in the bin. Have a look at that one. I don't know if this really, you know, again, I'm not sure whether it really kind of lends itself to having lace. I mean, it doesn't really feel like it's very much of a lacy kind of card, but, you know, I've just got this lace on the desk. I quite like it up there, actually. So I'm just going to literally hot glue that lace down, and then I'm going to trim it from the, not the reverse, but, you know, trim it from when it's on here, if you see what I mean. Just like that. Yeah, okay. So, yep, I'm liking how that looks. Just drop that down there. Oh, come on. Yay! Right, what do we think? Okay, let's pull in all the ones that we have done. I'm just going to quickly ink the back of this, because otherwise I will forget, no doubt. So, yeah, just very quickly ink the back. and then we'll just pull in the ones that we've done and kind of, yeah, check out the ones, how they look, you know, how different they've all turned out. So yeah, we've got these ones here. Oh gosh, sorry, burning in some other rubbish that was just laying around on the desk. So all of these ones here. So obviously we added the frame and the word there. So that's that one, and the tab. We added some lace and the wax seal on there. So yeah, that one looks really nice. This one we added the frame. So again, fingers crossed, I'm still hoping that that frame's going to dry. And then, you know, that will be really nice. We've got this one, which we did the wind around flap there like an envelope. Love that one. I think that's probably my favourite. Although I have to say I do really like this one here. I think is lovely with the frame. Then we've got this one here with the tab, and we put the brad and the button on there. And then this one, which if I'm just taking the isolated kind of masterboard section, this one's my favourite because, yeah, it's really, really nice, isn't it? So I hope that you like them. I think they've all turned out really super yummy. And yeah, hopefully this has maybe inspired you to do some. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys again soon. Thanks then. Bye.